Hey everybody, Dustin Dale's back here at the Funny Bone Comedy Club, 168th and Dodge, Village Point Mall. This weekend we've got a guy coming out. You gotta come check out this show. He's got some good stuff. You definitely want to check it out. His name is Ben Creed. Ben, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Dale. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. I understand you're coming from Tucson. Is that right?
Yes.
Why Tucson, man?
You know, I moved from New York City to Tucson, and my friend's like, "Why would you move from New York City to Tucson, Arizona?" I'm like, "Well, I know I'm going to burn in hell. I just want to get acclimated."
I like that. It's a big difference between New York City and Tucson. What would you say is the biggest difference between those two?
The gap between them is too big. It's the desert. There's nothing going on out there, and then you get the biggest city in the world with everything piled up. It's a huge difference. It's completely different. I wouldn't even know where to start.
You get 2 weeks free in Tucson. How do you entertain yourself down there?
2 weeks free?
2 weeks free. Do whatever you want. What do you do down there?
The average person or me?
You, and then the average person.
I just write. I just sit and write and hang out with my girl and stay out of the sun.
Yeah?
That's about it. I mean, everybody else golfs. I can't golf, you know.
Not much of a golfer, huh?
No, I mean, I'd like to go out there once in a while, but the first time I hit a golf ball, I knew it wasn't for me. I sliced it so bad it hit me in the ass. A hole in one.
Oh, there you go. Do you follow much sports at all besides golf or anything?
Yankees. I'm a big Yankees fan, and it's unbelievable what Cleveland's doing right now with the winning streak.
Yeah, what are they at now? Like 20?
It's 20. No, 22. I think 21 or 22.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Something like that.
Do you think they got a chance to go all the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, there's so many teams. Look at people are forgetting about the West, the Dodgers and everybody else. I don't know how many games they've won. They're going to easily win over 100 games if they stop losing. But they're in the 90s right now. And that's basically all I do when I'm home is I watch baseball and write and eat, as you can plainly see. And that's it. In New York, it's completely different. You can go out every night and do something. There's not a big theater scene in Tucson. So.
Do you now? Did you grow up in New York?
No, I was born in L.A. and moved to New York when I was a kid. And I started doing comedy in L.A. and then when I was 16, and I moved to New York when I was 19, 20, something like that.
What was it like for you breaking into the comedy scene?
Back when I was doing it, when I started doing it, there was maybe, I would say, 500 comics tops in the country, and there's maybe 10 that you would know on TV or from film or whatever, and there was no cell phones, no internet, no nothing. You had to go into the clubs to see the comics, and people would go on open mic night to see somebody really funny, and they'd also go to watch you die, because when you're having a miserable life, there's nothing better than sitting back and watching someone else fail at what they love to do. So it's just a completely different world. You know, you'd wait in line at the Comedy Store, I don't know, 3-4 hours to get a number to see if you got on to do 3 minutes at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you'd be all excited. And then Robin Williams would come in to do a half an hour or an hour, or Richard Pryor would come in, and you're on next. Like, really? You know? So it was a completely different world. Now there's a million comics. There's a million different ways to see them, you know.
Fast forward the clock to today. You're starting out comedy today. Obviously, I mean, now you've got training and a lot of years behind you. Well, how would you start out comedy today? What would be kind of your way in, do you think?
To break in?
Yeah.
I'm still working on that.
Still working on that.
I'm still working on that. Nobody there knows who I am, so, you know. These clubs like the Funny Bones, and there's a bunch of clubs they're great for comics that live in that area that are starting off. They have the open mic nights and doing guest spots and stuff, but there's some guys that have been doing it 2 years that get on Tonight Show, get on, you know, whatever. It's different for everybody, I guess.
And what kind of things you got coming up down the road that people can catch you at? Anything?
They can see me on Road Dogs on Showtime. Billy Gardell presents Road Dogs, and I was in a movie Holding Lucid, which opened and closed on the same flight, and I get killed in the first 5 minutes. Spoiler alert. They always use me for the guy. I did a movie a long time ago, and Disney saw it, and they flew me out to read for some parts, and they said, "We really liked you. We want to use you for killers and rapists and murderers." I'm like, "Gee, thanks, I guess," you know. But
I think that's an interesting typecast, especially for Disney.
Well, what else? I mean, look at me. You know, I get in the elevator half the time with little kids there, like Shrek. You know. So I mean, what am I going to go out for? When you see me on stage, you know I'm not going to talk about puppies and sunshine. So.
Well, maybe you could do the theater version of Shrek. What about that?
Yeah, if I could sing. You know, it's a musical now, right?
I think so, yeah. I think they did a musical version of it.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you come out and check him out this weekend. His name is Ben Creed. He's going to be in town.
Sorry about all the editing you're going to have to do.
I'm going to have to do a lot of work. Hey, it's just a taste. I'm telling you, folks. Come out this weekend. You're going to like what you hear. It's Funny Bone Comic Club always bringing you the best comics from all around the country. And Ben Creed, he's another one. You definitely want to check it out. So make sure you get here this weekend, all the way through Sunday. Make sure you check it out. Ben Creed, Funny Bone Comic Club. Thank you, Ben, for hanging out with me, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me.
Take care, guys.